Yo, his video is on fire, and I hope that he keep going on this right direction because I know that this is what he wants to do to help younger men and guide them in the right direction. His video not only helped me in the past, it's still helping me because I still have lots to learn and grow. That his video, it's not only helping younger people and younger men today, but one day it'll help children or younger men who are not yet born yet will find his video and will change the course of their life. That these principle and philosophy and experience from him will put them on the right direction. And so the only reason I said that because the children are our future, as Sadhguru said, because the children carry a body of philosophy within them, and as they carry this body of knowledge and principle in their philosophy of life, it will influence not only their peers, their friends, not only their family, and ultimately as they grow up as an adult, each interaction will change someone else's life or course of their life based upon what they know. And if they are put on the right path, it could change the course of someone else's life based upon their interaction. Because, as we all know, the people that we are closest to are our friends. They have influenced our life, and they will influence your decision making, your thinking, the way that you behave, the way that you perceive things to be. Now, Lenon honored today he created a video about protecting and serving, and I think that his principle is almost a lot like a martial artist or a kung fu master or kung fu principle. That when I was in college, right, I was I talked to my college classmate and I said kung fu, and a lot of people even on this video they were like, "What is kung fu?" And I was like, I tell the classmates it's kung fu, and he's like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh goddamn, do I have to explain that to them?" I want it to be cool, so I say kung fu instead of kung fu because everybody know kung fu, right? It's because they watch kung fu from Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, and all these people, but they only know by that because it's a lot they use. But the correct way is to say kung fu. So the protecting and preserving it's supposed to be within us, biology, right? It's like so I have two books spread across here, and I have uh, I was there's a website and they're on Kung Fu or Hungar, right? And one of the hero of China, or a lot of people play this hero from Jet Li and Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan played the Drunken Master too, Wong Fei, and Jet Li played Once Upon a Time in China, Wong Fei. Wong Fei is the legendary hero of China, and his principle is about protecting people from harm. I think that's the principle of martial arts, right? Martial arts are to protect people from harm, and that's you're supposed to do, right? And so what ended up happening, his philosophy of life, Wong Fei Hong philosophy of life, his son was influenced by his philosophy to protect or defend the weak, but his son ended up, dead. But the moral and the principle is that these principles are not just like, protecting the servant. It's not just about, it's about life. It's a way of life. It's not easy to incorporate, of course, but it's a way of thinking. It's a way to change the way that we see life because life is precious. But I wanted to talk to more about that. So I grew up. Um, I grew up watching legendary heroes save and protect. That's why I always talk about heroes and martial artists, right? Kung Fu, because they're there to protect you. That's why Batman, Superman, protect people. Like even though people harm Clark Kent, people hurt his family, but he still protect people because it's the right thing to do. And it's the same as Goku, right? Goku When I know that most people don't understand what I'm saying when I talk about Goku and Cell, because my audience don't understand Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, when Goku fight his opponent, he always treat them um, the way that the way he always give the let's say this, when he fight an opponent and they're tired and um, they're not up to par to fight him, he will give a like a bean, right? Like he just give them to it's a they call it senzo bean, and he give them so it can recover him so he can have a equal fighting chance, right? There's a philosophy of he need to do that because he like to fight too much, but that's besides the point. The point is that okay, here's the thing. So I have this moral principle here with me for linked the traditional Chinese martial arts. Follow the rules and show discipline. Okay, so let me talk about rules for a second. I think that you should follow the rules, but then break them. Like when you learn these type of philosophy of life, like there are things that you should carry within you, and some you should break them. As Richard Branson said, right? He said rules are meant to be broken. But that's besides the point. Another one, develop a sense of order, justice, respect your parents and your master. Be polite and kind to your followers, follow students, and help and support them. Be friendly and kind to all people. Protect the weak and support the peace with your martial arts skills. I mean, not only that, it should start with the siblings too. When we're talking about protecting and serving, it start with the sibling. This, either the older or the younger, they should be able to protect life. That's where we should train the kid first too, not the parents, right? That the way that we say that the family, as an Asian family care for their family. They provide and protect and serve their family. That's what Asian parents or Asian people do, and you see that across Asian culture, and that's usually true. And and I see that across. That's one thing that I like about Asian culture, that they care and protect their loved ones and they care about them. Um, so the way I see this is right. There's a principle that I want you to understand for us all. That there is a great book that could more understanding about protecting and serving the female brain, right? For the human mother, the lovely smell of her newborn head skin, poop, uh, split up breast milk, and other bodily fluid that have watched over her during the first few days will become chemically imprint on her brain, and she will be able to pick out her own baby smell above all other within about 90% accuracy. This go for her baby cry and body movement too. The touch of her baby skin, the looks of its little fingers and toe, its short cries and gaps, all are now tattooed on her brain. Within hours to days, overwhelming protectiveness may cease her maternal aggression set in. Her strength and resolve to care for and protect this little being, completely grabbed the brain circuits. She feels as she could stop. She could stop a moving truck with her own body to protect her baby. Her brain has been changed, and along with her reality, it perhaps the biggest reality change of woman life. And so it also talk about the person who become the father. The father begin to change his brain too. Anyway, so my point being is, I talked to one of my friend and mentor. He used to work here, property manager, and I wanted to see if that principle was true, right? When you have a new baby born, right, and the usually the mother would, because when the baby mother is being born, the baby is being born, right, the mother brain, neuroplasticity, the mother brain changes, and so the mother start to protect their child. And so I wanted to understand if this is true for uh, my mentor and friend, and I asked him, when your kid was being born, did you see and notice a difference? You wanted to protect your kid or children or baby? He said, yeah. And the brain, it changes too in the father. But the thing is, the protecting and serving, it should be all life form, not just the kid. And they should be able to, like, the siblings should protect the siblings from harm, from anything. And the Lenin talk about the music and the intellectual, you know, the way that the TV and the media and the music influence a lot of kids' um, mind, because this dome, I call it, when people are influenced, when baby is being born, right? The idea that baby is being born, they're 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 open, and so they all the idea are programmed into their mind, and what happens is that their mind shape and see the reality, and that will influence their whole life. And the way that I see it, Lenin also talked about to be able to serve and provide of something of value of consequences. When the way that I see it is that when he create his videos, Lenin, his older video, he helped me uh, in his video. He helped me into the right direction of building my vocabulary. That's one, and the way that my thinking is, right? And then it'll change the course of. But we don't see the immediate change right away. We only because these philosophy, these ideas, this knowledge and wisdom are the seed, which should be it 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 will influence the course of your life. You don't see the immediate effect, but then you start to see that it does have an effect on you long term, because his idea are washing the way that we see life. And he talked about protecting the family and the children, or women and children, and that is the right way to do it. To protect children is the foremost thing that you should do. When I take care of my nephew, or my niece, I get very worried and sometimes scared, because you know you're supposed to protect them, and you don't want anything happen to them, so you become overly protective of them, right? I mean, but the thing is, parents should instill in their kids at a very young age to be say, whether you're the older or the younger, it doesn't matter, that you're the protector of your family, your brothers or sister, and you're a protector of life. And I remember I'll tell you a story. Back when I was in eighth grade, I don't tell often this story, but I will tell you just because. When I was in eighth grade, um, I guess I had this weird thing where if I give people glare, I call it the death glare. Just give them the mean glare. That's right, I'm the boss. Yarr! And give them. I would glare anybody. But I remember there were people. I remember I was in the computer class, and I had to go out of computer class for something, and they called me in the speaker, and I was in eighth grade, and then I got out the door of the computer class, and I saw these people was bullying someone else, like some kid, and I was like, why are you gonna do that? And I was like, okay. I was like, dude, stop it. Like, stop messing with it. I don't know if they were playing around or whatever. But the greatest story that I could ever told was, I don't know why I did it, but because it was the right thing to do. I remember back in high school, there was a bunch of uh, students, whatever you want to call it, was like, it was a lot of kids, black kids, right? and they were fighting over, I don't know what happened, and there was this kid, and yo, I don't know what got into me, so I was like, F it, I'm gonna step up and uh, just stand there and not let anybody hurt him or say anything stupid to him. And it was, I don't know why I did it, but it was one guy versus like 10, 20 students. I don't remember, but it was a lot of students. And then the teacher or someone came in, they all spread. I mean, back then I was cool with the principal. I was cool with the principal. I mean, I was. See, the cool thing about being a class clown and a troublemaker is it's not cool, but it's cool. See, it's cool, even though they might be watching you, but I'm okay with it. I'm good with teachers. So I was friend with the principal and the social the what was it, the security people, right? The security people in high school, because I often get in trouble and do stupid things. Life, man. It was okay. I think it was fun, but no, it's fun to be friend. Like when you get in trouble and you're friends with the principal. That is cool. That is one of the coolest. They be like, "What the hell is Johnny doing? Being friends with friends?" Look, when you're in trouble and people of high caliber or supervisor watching you, yo, I think that's happened in my whole life. I just realized that my whole life, I just be friend with the most uh, high powerful people in the school, the system. But it's fun because they open the door that I can't open. You want to have friends like these. People don't understand my life, man. um, uh, but yeah, the only reason why I see these type of things is because it's like, because back then I was very heavily into martial arts, right? Kung Fu. And in a way it seeped in my subconscious mind that martial arts or Kung Fu are to protect people from harm or from the weak. So if someone is being hurt or something happening between just one person from many, you stepped in. I could have been killed though. I can beat up and but that's not the case, right? So that's the idea. The idea is about preserving life, to serve and protect, just like policemen, just like firefighter. Um, oh yeah, I remember. I asked, but I can't clearly tell you. So even though it's their, the cops, where they, it's their in their, it's their job to protect people, right? And I forgot I asked a police officer. I know for a fact I asked a police officer. So because a lot of people, hate on cops, or I call it the 5-0, right? People call it 5-0. And they said, "How do you deal with all the negative?" They said, we're just I forgot how he deal with it. I can't remember. But I asked them, God damn, I wish I write things down or like videotape it. But that's pretty much for today. And oh yeah, and there's the kung fu book that I want to talk about. Learn the ways to preserve rather than to destroy. Avoid rather than check. Check rather than hurt. Hurt rather than maim. Maim rather than kill. For all life is precious, nor any can be replaced. Kung Fu must be thought of in its final form and spirit as a expression of man in the the mutable wills to survive adversity in the most direct, self-relevant manner possible. This requires only that which nature give him, a mind and body recklessly disciplined as in separate entity. With this framework, Kung Fu will be present as an experience which begins on the physical level and gradually deepens to a persuasive philosophy influence the totality of one behavior. Of course, the techniques produce fatal results will be described, but our stress will be on the art-based belief in non-violence. Sound like Mahatma Gandhi, but that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time. But remember, we're here to protect the mind of the young people, our mind, what we listen to, the music, what we listen to, because whatever you listen to will have a very big influence how you will direct your life and how it will direct the philosophy and affect other people's life. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time.